Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer and this is Movie Talk. This week's episode is one of my absolute favorite movies, and that is Avatar. Now, this 2009 science fiction fantasy movie was directed, written, produced, and co-edited by James Cameron. And it's a long movie. It's about 3 hours, so you really want to set aside. It's like not something you want to just pop in and watch while you're waiting for a show to come on. You want to actually make sure you set some time aside to watch this movie because it is a long movie. But it is a good movie. It is a very good movie. It really sucks you in. Which, in my opinion, is a good movie. Now, this movie takes place in the year 2154, and the human race has basically exhausted all of Earth's natural resources and have turned their attention to a planet in the Alpha Centauri system by the name of Pandora. Now, Pandora is a very toxic environment for humans. The atmosphere is very toxic to the humans. And so the only way to survive there is to use breathing masks or to be in these genetically grown body, or have your mind in these genetically grown bodies called avatars, which is where the name of the movie comes from. Now, these avatars are modeled after the natives of Pandora, which are called Navani, I believe is what they're called, but if I'm mispronouncing the name of the species, I apologize. And they are these 7-foot tall creatures that are really very beautiful. They're tall and lean and blue, and they have a real respect for the natural world around them. Now, this story focuses on a former Marine by the name of Sam Wentworth, who is played by the name of Jake Scully, who is played by Sam Wentworth. I'm sorry, I mixed up the character with the actor there for a second, so I apologize for that. And Jake is crippled. They don't really. They say how he got crippled. I don't remember. I saw this movie when it was in the theater, and I really haven't had a block of time to sit down and watch it at home. I do obviously have the DVD. I just haven't had the time to sit down and watch it, as it isn't a movie that, even though I've seen it before, it is not a movie that I want to just pop in while I'm doing something, like doing work on my computer or something, to listen to it. It's actually a movie that if I'm going to watch it, I want to sit down and watch it. That's how good it is. So, I don't remember how he got crippled. I think it was violence related, but they don't really say. And his twin brother, an identical twin brother, and I can't remember his name, was the one who was slated to be part of the Avatar program and go to Pandora. But he was killed. In a drive-by, he was killed, I think, in a drive-by shooting or something, but I don't remember. Again, I don't remember. It's been almost 10 years since I've seen the movie. The movie came out in 2009, it's 2017, so it's been about 8 years since I've seen the movie. But anyway, so, because Jake and his brother are identical twins means identical DNA. Just because the Avatar was grown from, or created from DNA from the Nevaeh and Jake's brother, and is a genetic match to Jake's brother, doesn't mean that they scrapped that Avatar because his brother's dead, because he has an identical twin brother who is also a genetic match for this Avatar. So Jake goes to Pandora, and as soon as he is in this Avatar's body, he can walk, he can run, he can do all the things he hasn't been able to do since he became crippled. And he agrees to help as best he can. And I'm sorry about that. That was my little speaker for my tablet, which I left on. And I apologize for that. I didn't mean for it to cut in. So anyway, so Jake agrees to go, and again, I apologize for the noise my speaker's making. Jake agrees to go to Pandora to help retrieve the mineral that they're looking for, and I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, and he agrees to help Colonel Myers Quintum, who is played by Stephen Lang, do what they were sent there to do. But he's also promised to help Dr. Norm Spellman and a couple of other doctors who are studying the Navani. And Jake actually gets in a really good position to help them as he befriends a Navani tribe. And again, if I am mispronouncing the name of the aliens or the native creatures of Pandora, I apologize. So anyways, so Jake agrees to help out, and he ends up falling in love with Nirvana, or however you say the names, by the name of, and if I mispronounce the name, I apologize. Tia, I believe is how you say her name, and she is actually the daughter of the chief of her village. And Jake kind of falls in love with her, and she falls in love with Jake's avatar. Now, she knows that it's not actually one of her people. She knows that that there's a human controlling it. I believe she does. But she doesn't care. She actually falls in love with him, and he falls in love with her. And of course, it wouldn't be a sci-fi movie if there weren't like spectacular battles or anything, and they had to save Pandora and the native people from the humans that were trying to take it over and whatnot. And I don't want to give away too much in case you haven't seen it, but if you haven't, I would say this, definitely watch it. It is a really great movie. So yeah, one of the things I loved about this is I loved the special effects. The Navani and the avatars are all computer generated, but they look so real. They just look amazing, and unfortunately I am not seeing a good comparison where you can actually see them on the DVD, but they look so cool. And the animals, like the native animal life to the Pandora planet, the horses that these creatures ride, or the horse-like creatures that the Navani ride, and the bird-like creatures that they ride are amazing. They are just, they're computer animated as well, and it is just so good. A lot of this movie was done, particularly with the Navani and the people with the Navani, was done with green screen animation. Oh, and by the way, the daughter of the chieftain, just in case I did not mention, she was played, and by played I mean probably motion activation and voice-wise, by Zoe Saldaña, I believe is how you say her last name. And so anyway, so again, really great movie. I really, really love this movie. The special effects in this movie were just amazing. Beautifully, wonderfully done. I actually saw this movie with my mom and my grandma when it came out. And I was so, this was the one movie in 2009 that I really, 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 really wanted to see. So you can really tell I really wanted to see this movie. And almost saw it opening week, and then because my mom, my dad, and I decided we all wanted to go see it, and turned out that by the time we got to the movie theater and whatnot, it was sold out, and the only other showing was going to be at midnight, and none of us wanted to stay up past midnight to see a movie, especially since it was just opening weekend and we knew we could go out and see it again some other time. So we came home and we watched a different movie on demand. We actually watched the newest Star Trek at that point in time. I know there's been another one or at least one other since then, but we saw the newest one. So I was a little disappointed at that. So when I went to see it with my mom and my grandma, I was like really excited. And we were the only ones in the theater. So it was just a really nice time, just the three of us. And there was this one scene in the whole movie where Nerexti, I believe is how you say her name. Again, I can't remember. We'll just say the Navani that Jake falls in love with, since I can't pronounce her name, is having a conversation with her mom in their native language, and they have the subtitles down there so you can kind of understand what they're saying. And I just looked at my mom and I'm like, we don't need subtitles, because you can tell just by the tone and their way they're reacting to each other what's going on. Just because the way she's talking, the way the mom's talking to the daughter, and the way the daughter's talking to the mom, and just the facial expressions and whatnot, you kind of, even without the subtitles, to know what they're saying in their native language, you kind of knew what was going on. But again, great movie, wonderful movie. I loved it so much. I don't want to give away too much in case you haven't seen it. But it is a great movie. I absolutely loved it. So I'm going to just basically end it there. And on to the question. So this week's question is, for those of you who have seen Avatar, is what did you like most about it? I loved the special effects in the movie, the computer-generated special effects. I thought the CGI was just beautiful. I mean, you couldn't see where the CGI ended and the live action began. It was just so wonderful. So that is the question I'm posing to you. What, for those of you who have seen this movie, what did you like the best about the movie? Please leave your answers in the comment section. Also, feel free to leave your comments as well. Those help me out a lot, and I really do like reading them. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. That helps me out a lot as well. And feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I will leave the information in the description section. That's all for this video. I'm Jennifer, and thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time.